The mood decidedly uncelebratory as the EU and China held a bilateral summit Thursday to commemorate 5 decades of diplomatic relations. Expectations were low as what was to be a 2-day affair in Beijing was cut to just one amid a series of disagreements. Among the points of contention, China's close ties to Moscow and its tacit support for Russia's war on Ukraine. The EU has slapped sanctions on a number of Chinese firms and banks for allegedly helping to supply Russia's weapons industry.
We call on China to use its influence on Russia to respect the United Nations Charter and to bring an end to its war on aggression against Ukraine.
Another awkward subject, trade. The EU currently has a massive trade deficit with China, importing nearly 306 billion euros more of its goods last year than the bloc sent back as exports. Brussels has accused China of state-subsidized industrial overproduction, flooding foreign markets like the EU with artificially cheap goods that threaten the bloc's domestic manufacturing base. Xi Jinping, in response, urging Europe to make correct strategic choices, a thinly veiled reminder of China's power. Europe's 45% tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles have been met with Chinese export restrictions on rare earth minerals and magnets, critical for high-tech manufacturing. Beijing has also slapped tariffs on French liquor and launched trade investigations into European pork and dairy imports.
The European Union is very important for Chinese industry. It is a big market for Chinese product, which is especially important at a time when the American market is not as accessible as it was before.
That closing American market has further complicated EU-China ties. Brussels is trying to negotiate a trade deal to avoid at least some of Donald Trump's threatened tariffs and is worried that any perceived realignment with Beijing could imperil such a deal.